Hello and welcome back to Shulchan HaRav. We continue in Hilchos Shema, the halachas of reading the Shema, Siman Nun Ches, and we pick it up with Sif Gimel. The best way to perform the mitzvah of Kriya Shema is Shaloi Likrois Miyad Sheheir Ayom Kishayoyer. Do not read it right away as soon as the sun is shining and you're awake, Kishnish Bar, like we said. Ella Kivasikin. The best way to do it is like the Vasikin, people who really hold mitzvahs in a very precious way to perform their mitzvahs. They work it out so that they can say Shema right before sunrise. So that they can complete Kriya Shema with its brachas, including, meaning Gal Yisrael, which is the last bracha right before Shemona Esrei, so they're saying that just as the first rays of sun are coming over the horizon. She'ozhu Zman Tefillah Chadchila, which is the ideal time for davening Shemona Esrei in the morning. K'moishis Bar B'Siman Peites, which we'll explain later in Siman 89. V'Yispalalu Miyad, and then they daven right away, Kedei Lismech Gula Tefillah, because you're supposed to have the bracha of Gal Yisrael in close proximity, as close as possible, meaning like right before Shemona Esrei. And someone who's able to do this, and they have minyanim that are set up to do it. They have calendars. They have a clock right there by the Amid, and they know exactly when they're supposed to start and finish. Those people have an incredible schar, and they are assured of a place in the world to come. Now, here's the first alternate opinion. Someone who's not able to get it set up properly so that he can time it this way. Do not do everything early before sunrise. Don't say Shema and then daven before sunrise. Just do everything after sunrise. Because the ideal time to daven Shemona Esrei is after sunrise. So wait till after sunrise, which is most common minyanim that you'll find. A lot of cities have a Nate's minyan now, but the common minyanim are starting later. Since the time to say Shema, you really have several hours in the morning to say it. The Vasikin, the ones who make the Nate's minyan, that they read Shema earlier, right before Nate's Chama, just slightly before. They're not doing that because the obligation to say Shema is early. It's not. Ella, they're doing it so that they can daven Shemona Esrei right as the sun begins to shine. When it first comes up over the horizon, like we just mentioned, and will also be explained, Siman Peites will be explained more thoroughly in 89. Now, the second alternate opinion, that actually the Vasikin are really reading Shema early because there is an obligation to read it before sunrise. Because ideally it should be read when the majority of people are getting up. Like we said, Uv Kumecha means when people are rising in the morning. At the time of sunrise, around that time, that's when most people are getting up, right before that. The only people who sleep past sunrise are the princes, the children of kings, etc., and other people like that. Again, Bisman Azeh, most people are getting up after Netzach Hama, but this is still a valid shita. Therefore, if you're not able to work the timing out so you can do it like the Vasikin, if you're reading Shema earlier before Hanetz, you're not going to be able to put the brachas of Gula before Tefillah. You're not going to be able to say Gal Yisrael right before Shemona Esrei, Elim Kain, unless unless what you do is just read the first parsha of Shema before sunrise, Vadai, when it's definitely going to be almost sunrise, and then you daven Shemona Esrei after the definite sunrise. You're not necessarily davening as the sun rises because you're waiting till you know it's been sunrise, because you don't have a way to know exactly what the timing is. You can't even do that. You can't time it so you know when it's for sure sunrise. Just read Shema and the brachas before Nates, when you look at chila, v'yispal achar netzach chama, and then daven after Shemona Esrei, but lo yismach gula tefillah. But there's going to be an interruption there. You won't be able to have the Ga'al Yisrael bracha right before Shemona Esrei if you're davening so much earlier. I mean, I guess you could sit there quietly because until you know when it's after netzach chama. But in most situations, you will miss out on gula tefillah. The main halacha follows that first opinion, that the first alternate opinion. If you're not davening nates, that you should wait till after netzach chama. Nevertheless, one should have concern for the second opinion. Read the first paragraph of Shema before nates. Even though you're not wearing tzitzis and tefillin, and we'll talk about that more, about you're not really supposed to read Shema without tefillin on, because it's like testifying falsely on yourself. You're saying the psukim of tefillin, you're not wearing tefillin. In this case, since you're going to daven later shachris with your tefillin and talis on, then you're not going to be lying about the mitzvah. You are going to fulfill that mitzvah. After Netzach Chama, when you're in shul with the minyan with shachris, then you read the whole Shema with the brachas, and then you can bracha of Goal Yisrael right before Shemona Esrei, like it is in the Siddur. Have a great Shabbos.